It's another time on Counseling Corner, and we are still on our series on sex education. Remember, on our last episode, we discussed extensively on the female sexual anatomy. But before then, if you've not subscribed to our channel, feel free to subscribe to our channel. Share our videos so that others might benefit from it. So on our corner today, we are going to go into the male sexual anatomy, and I'm not going to discuss that alone. With me here to discuss this issue, it's another guest, and he is
Amulumide by name. Welcome, viewers.
You're welcome to our corner today.
Thank you
Like
very
I
much.
have told our viewers, we're going to talk about the male sexual anatomy. In our previous counseling section, we talked about the female sexual anatomy. And so today, we want to hear from you what the male sexual anatomy comprises of. So, I'm handing over to you. So, let me take it from there.
Thank you very much. Actually, before we start to talk about the male sexual anatomy, it will be good for us to know the meaning of the word anatomy.
That's good, yeah.
The word anatomy simply means the science that studies human body structure. So from the question, male sexual anatomy, what it means, it could simply be, we could simply say it is male sexual structure. So, and we have it in two aspects. We have the external aspect of it and the internal. But I will discuss mainly on the external first.
Okay.
So the external is majorly the penis and the scrotum. And we have 3 layers of tissues that makes up the penis. So by the time a male or a man gets horny or turned on, these tissues is filled or are filled with blood. Then it becomes very hard. So during this time, we say the man or the male is hard on, or that he has gotten an erection. So that is about the penis. Now we want to talk about the parts of the penis and the scrotum.
Okay.
We start with the glans. The glans is also known as the head of the penis, or you call it the tip of the penis. This gland is known to be very sensitive because inside it we have the opening to the urethra, and it is from the urethra that semen or precum comes out. So this part of the penis, the head of the penis, the glans, is very sensitive. Then the next one we'll be talking about is the shaft. The shaft is like a tube, and it is the skin that covers from the penis, from the start of the penis to the lower belly. So that is it, and it is inside this shaft that we have the urethra. So that is for the shaft.
Okay.
Then we have the foreskin, and this foreskin is that skin that covers the glans or the head of the penis, and it is usually removed in most men during circumcision, although in some men too it is not removed. Then we have another one, that is the frenulum. The frenulum is just like a V shape under the penis. It is usually the remains of the foreskin after circumcision. Yeah, so it is under the penis like a V shape, and it is very sensitive. Then another one is the scrotum. The scrotum is that sac-like material, or a kind of sack of skin that is hung below your penis, and your scrotum holds your testicles and keeps them at the right temperature. When it is cold, your scrotum pulls your testicles closer to your body, and if it is warm, your testicles are hung away from your body. And this scrotum is covered with a kind of wrinkly skin and hair, and it varies in size. The scrotum varies in size. It could be big or bigger in some person, while it could be smaller in other person. So that is about the scrotum, and that would be the few things we're going to talk about in the external aspect of the sexual or the male sexual anatomy. So now we'll be talking about the internal sexual anatomy.
Alright, thank you very much. So now, viewers, we have seen the external parts of the sexual anatomy. So now let's go to the internal parts of the sexual anatomy. So what does the internal part of the sexual anatomy comprises of?
I would like to list them out first.
Okay.
Then I'll take it one
at
after
a
the
time.
other.
Alright.
We have the testicles.
Okay.
We have the epididymis. We have the vas deferens. We have the seminal vesicles. We have the prostate gland. We have the corpus glands. We have the urethra. And we have the cream master. So I'll be taking first the testicles. Remember when I was talking about the scrotum, I said it has inside of it some two ball-like material. So those two ball-like materials I mentioned earlier is known as the testicles, and these testicles is very sensitive because it helps in the making of sperm and some hormones like the testosterone. Then we have the epididymis. The epididymis is a tube where your sperm matures. That is, after the testicle has produced the sperm, then the sperm gets matured at the epididymis. Then this epididymis also connects each testicles to the vas deferens. And you may be wondering what the vas deferens is. So the next one we'll be talking about is the vas deferens. And the vas deferens is a long and narrow tube that carries sperm from the epididymis to the seminal vesicles when you ejaculate or when you come. And there are two of them, one connected to each epididymis. That is, there are two in numbers, and each of them is connected to the epididymis. Then we have the seminal vesicles. The seminal vesicles are two small organs that produce semen, and semen is the fluid that sperm moves around in, and they are located below your bladder. Then another thing is the prostate gland. The prostate gland makes a fluid that helps your sperm move. It's about the size of a walnut or a golf ball. And the prostate gland is sensitive to pressure or touch in a way that many people find pleasurable or pleasurable rather. Another one we are going to talk about is the corpus glands. The corpus glands produce a fluid that is called pre-ejaculate or precum, and it is this fluid that prepares your urethra for ejaculation. It helps in reducing friction of the urethra so that your semen can move more easily. And these corpus glands are located under the prostate and are attached to your urethra. And these corpus glands are also known as bulbourethral glands. Then another thing is the urethra. You know, we've been mentioning the urethra all over since we started. This urethra is like a tube, just like the shaft we mentioned in the external parts the other time. So it is this urethra that is found inside the shaft, and this urethra helps in the passage, or it is through this urethra that the semen and the pre-ejaculate or the precum comes out. So, and the opening of the urethra is what we talked about earlier, that it is found in the head of the penis or the glands of the penis. Then another thing is the cream master. The cream master, you remember we said the scrotum is very sensitive because when the temperature is cold, it drags the testicle in, and when it's hot, it drags it out. So that muscle that helps in the dragging is known as the cream master. So it is the muscle that is responsible for the dragging, and it is very sensitive too.
So these are the listed parts of the internal part of the sexual anatomy. Thank you. Well done. We've been able to see the internal and the external part of the male sexual anatomy, viewers. But I want to ask a question. My question is, at what age can a boy child, as in a teenage boy, start producing sperm? Because you know, this is Class Online School and this is our sexual counseling section. We are counseling our teenagers on sex education so that they know when to take precaution. So please, can you tell us at what age?
Yeah, thank you. That is a very nice question that I think would be beneficial for the male out there. The production of sperm occurs in male usually at the starting age of the puberty period. Although it varies in individuals, the age varies in individuals.
So that's when individual difference comes into play.
So we have the range of 9 to 14, while the average age is 12.
Okay, so if they start at 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 14 for those whose puberty delay, it's normal.
Yeah. So at this time, that male can get a lady impregnated.
So Olumide, before we conclude, I have one more question to ask. Which part of the in male anatomy it's more sensitive? Because you know, we are talking to teenagers and we are trying to let them know how to couple themselves. And on this channel we preach abstinence majorly. So what part of the body, or which part of the body is more sensitive sexually?
Well, I would say it's the penis. In one word.
In one word, the penis. So, our viewers out there, you've had it. As teenagers, as those passing through puberty, please, we want you to pass through this stage gracefully. If you become a father at age 14, age 15, it's going to be very difficult for you as an individual. So here, since we preach abstinence at this young age, we will want to add once more, abstain from sex at this age of your life. So parents, guardians, teachers, students out there, we've been able to talk extensively on the male sexual anatomy. We've seen the part, we've seen the sensitive part, we've seen the ages at which these processes can actually materialize into something good or bad. So you want to be forewarned is forearmed. Thank you for dropping by. In our next episode, we are going to discuss another series under our sex education. If you have not subscribed to our channel, feel free to subscribe, share our videos, let your friends know what we are doing here. Get educated, and we'll be happy that you do that. And another thing is, if you have any comments, give us a comment below the comment box. If you want to send us email, send us email. The email will be provided beneath this video. If you want to give us any feedback, or you have a suggestion of what you want us to cover or what we did not cover, it will be our pleasure to serve you, and it will be our pleasure to discuss it extensively the way you will like it. And until next time, on our career corner, our career guidance corner, our sex education series. From me, Olumide, thank you for coming, and it was a pleasure having you. And so to our viewers, thank you. All right, bye till our next time.